So today's lesson, I'm actually going to be using, botanical repair leave-in conditioner as a cutting agent. So I'm going to be using that instead of a spray. So the reason why is I want the strength into a hair as when I'm doing the haircut. So the purpose of that is really using almost like a cutting agent. It will just help, especially if you ever struggle with keeping your sections clean. Now, this will be a combination. I mean, there's a lot of things happening here, but this is going to be a lot of fun. So, but I'm very excited, so I'm going to get started. And yeah, so one of the things that I was inspired about was creating something, during the time when I worked at Sassoon, especially, there was times when we were quite inspired by the, I'm very inspired by the very early 90s and late 80s. Period, and to try and create something, along the lines of something that's going to be a combination of strength and softness at the same time, and almost like working with exaggerated forms or exaggerated head shapes. So let me get started. Now I'm not even going to use maybe a sectioning clip. I'm just going to push this off to the side. So when creating this, what I'm going to be focusing on first is I'm going to be working first with diagonal sections, and I just will be working this. I want this to be a bit more graduated, okay? So this will end up being shorter and really working with the diagonal sections, but I want to kind of disconnect this, this sideburn area here. I want to kind of create something a bit more unique, so we'll see what happens, see if I can create that. Now, what I'll be doing is just working inside my fingers. So first, you might see I might even do a little bit of using the comb to kind of create a little bit of like tension, or maybe working with the direction of the hair growth. So coming through out here, just making sure. If you want to be nice. So. Oh, she's smiling. All right. So. Same thing, I'm going to be working inside my fingers, because what I'm trying to create, I want to try to create a bit more of like, what's the word, a bit more of expanded form here. And then just right here you'll see, and keep a little more strength there. And I will be using my trimmer to kind of clean that up there as well. So we're going to continue. But yeah, so I did a live video tutorial the other night. It was on Wednesday night. We did a massive restyle. Unfortunately, I think her hair was going to be too thick to color it. So unfortunately, we couldn't color it tonight. So, but yeah, unfortunately. But you'll see that I will get her hair colored next week. So you'll see from my tutorial on Wednesday night. You can still watch it here. It is being recorded here on Hairbrains. Now I'm going to continue. So my sections will be going like this. Okay. Now for some of you, if you notice, I'm using more of a darker colored comb because the model's hair is a light colored. So that means you can see a little bit more what you're doing, as opposed to if I used a white colored comb. Now here, my over direction will be just almost to the previous. As I get further back, I will be slowly maybe working with a bit more over direction.
We have a question here.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you enjoy starting with the end result in mind, or do you work spontaneously?
A bit of both. A bit of both. So that's an amazing question. Who's asking that?
So that was Kenny Berg.
Yeah, so Kenny, yeah. Ideally, what in this case here, so sometimes it's quite common, especially more in classic work, to be able to do that. You kind of think about exactly, especially if you're guests that kind of like have like, maybe it's just like, could be like more like a classic type of feeling to it. Yeah, so I might have something set in my mind. But in this case here, I really, even though I have something set in my mind, I want to create something that, I don't know, like, I'm going to go with my feelings. So, and also how the hair expands because it has been pre-lightened or bleached. And what we know about bleached hair, it wants to expand, it gets a little bit fluffy, you might say. And you'll see I will be doing a combination of various different barbering techniques, so such as scissor combing. I will have to use the trimmers and also the clippers just to really refine the look. Once again, this is a combination of strength and softness and texture all at the same time. So I really want to be able to create something that's going to be quite easy to manage for you, my guest. Okay. So yeah, thank you very much for the question there, Kenny.
We also have a hi from Sandra in Jackson, in Florida.
Oh,
Jacksonville, sorry.
Oh, Jacksonville, yes. I've never been there. I've been to Florida, I think, one time when I was a kid. You know, as usually a lot of Americans do. They go to Disney World or something. So yeah, so I haven't been. You know, I would love to go and offer some education there. So yeah.
Perfect. And Kenny also fired another question. It said, with short designs, why such large scissors?
These are 5-inch. So
yeah, maybe they look a bit larger than they are.
A little bit larger. Now, okay, so Kenny, just to let you know, so for example, so if you notice that barbers use longer scissors when they do, especially do scissor combing. Now, do you know why, Kenny? The reason why is because with scissors, when we're doing this type of motion, okay, with scissor combing, now what are the scissors made out of? Steel, okay? And then if you're doing this for a long period of time, you're creating heat. And does anyone know what happens to steel when you add heat to it? It expands. So that's why barbers use longer scissors when they're doing scissor combing, so it will help, you know, the heat will dissipate or evaporate through the length of the blade, while shorter scissors, when doing scissor combing, yeah, you'll see they might get stuck because the blades have expanded. So yeah, that's the reason why. So in this case, I'm using 5-inch scissors here. They are Damascus steel. They're a brand called Green Mouse. They're from the same manufacturer as Wings, and I absolutely love them. So they are perfect for my type of cutting. So I feel like they just belong with me. So, but yeah. So hopefully that answered your question there, Kenny.
Perfect.
So I'm going to continue. Now let me just show you my sections, just so you can see. Okay, so this is all going to be tailor-made down here, while I'm doing an exaggerated effect here, working with that graduation. Now, if you see here, what to do to help keep you balanced with your graduation, I'm resting my back of my pinky finger on the head. So that keeps me from moving around too much. So that's a little trick you can do to help you with your graduation and keeping you balanced and focused. And then continue. Now you'll notice that my sections, okay, they're going to be going inwards here. So I will be following the shape going this way, because then I'm following the shape of the head to give it a bit more of a head hugging shape. Continue. So if there's any more questions there, hopefully.
Not yet.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, actually, just you said that, another one rolled in from Kenny. Kenny's keen today.
Well, he wants it.
Yeah. Could this not have been done with vertical section without getting too square or flat?
The only thing is, if you would have done that, you would actually have to, you could have used vertical sections, but the difference is, okay, if I went this way, in order to get it like not too flat, I would actually have to cut inside my fingers. But the reason why I'm using diagonal is because I want to direct the weight back. That's the difference. That's why I chose to use diagonal instead of vertical. Now, so you can really see, I want to try and create that effect. Can you give me a advantage? So that's the purpose of the diagonal sections there. So hopefully that answered your question there, Kevin. Yes, you could have, but for me, I want to really expand or create width to a certain degree and also direct the hair in the direction I choose. If you would have done vertical, what would have happened? The only thing to make it a bit more rounded, you would have to cut hair inside your fingers to get a slightly rounded shape. Or if you have a smaller one there, Connor, to go into my kit bag. So I'm going to continue. Now what happens is with my elevation of the graduation, as I'm on the highest point of the head, I'm elevating higher. As I decrease, my elevation will decrease as well. Okay? Thank you. Okay, so as I'm continuing, I'm still working inside my fingers. And if you notice, I'm actually kind of just executed. I kept my elbow to my rib cage to keep my elevation quite low.
With a more diagonal finger angle with vertical sections, would this work for your intended shape?
I'm sorry, say again, please?
Sorry. So with a more diagonal finger angle with vertical sections, would this work for your intended shape?
I'm sorry.
So I guess with the positioning, I guess what they mean by that is, so with placing your fingers in a diagonal manner,
Yeah.
with vertical sections, would this work? So I guess
They wouldn't be.
yeah, that does. Yeah,
That wouldn't. Unfortunately, what I'm doing is when I cut hair, my fingers are really pretty much replicating my section. So vertical at an angle, I couldn't do that. So unfortunately, I'm sorry to say it wouldn't work. So unless I do apologize, maybe we're not understanding the question properly, but yeah. Okay, so I'm going to continue. Now I will be doing the same thing on the opposite side. Then after I'm done with the back, you'll see I will then be creating, okay, your overall shape on the top. Now, like I said, this will, I have to just do the basic graduation shape. Then I'm going to be refining with the use of scissor or combing, and also my clippers and trimmers to tidy up. Then at that point as well, okay, I will then be doing the top, and that'll be dried, and you'll see I'm going to be then creating a little more of a texturizing technique, taking a lot of the weight off, but also I'm going to be doing something called scaffolding technique. Yeah, it's a great way to help, expand the shape, but at the same time give it lots of support. Okay. If you see here now, so that's the purpose of the diagonal sections. I want to be very head hugging, following the curvature of the head, following around the occipital bone down into the nape. Now, as we do on the opposite side, so what would happen is, now I'll continue. I'm actually going to be using, I'm going to change my hand position, going this way. If you notice, my thumb is pointing in that direction, because that's the direction I want to go in. Now, where I start, now it's a great way to tell. If I put the comb on the head and where it starts rounding off, that's right there where I'm going to start.
Kenny said there's a great explanation, and he also complimented your body positioning as well.
Oh, thank you. The reason why I'm going with my body position like this is because I'm especially doing a demonstration. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, because a lot of times, normally what I would suggest, a lot of times I suggest for my students is try and stand directly in front of where you're cutting. Now for myself, I have to stand further because so you guys can see what I'm doing. As you go in, remember please, your upper part of your body controls your technique, your lower part of your body controls your overall shape. So when I'm going into, you'll see when I do this, I'll put my body into it. That's how we're going to get more of a curvature and creating a round shape. I'm just going to get a clip, or a couple.
Does anybody have any more questions? And whereabouts are you watching from on the world?
Yeah, please tell us, guys, yeah?
We've got 90 viewers now.
Oh wow, perfect. Okay, so what will happen now, so I will be taking sections going this way. My hand position will be like this. Now, if you are left-handed, your hand position will be like that. Okay? Now, once again, still using diagonal sections. Okay? Okay, and you'll see what I'm going to be doing is, even though this panel throughout here will go shorter when it's all dry, okay, I do want to create a little more strength here, and you'll see with the use of trimmers and I want to really create. So, and these are the things that we learn, especially at my new academy here in Edinburgh, Scotland. Alright, so I'm very grateful we have this beautiful, beautiful building here, so it's quite nice. And yeah, so we're, just launched our courses, and yeah, so it's really good. So we've just had a 2-day ladies haircutting course, and that was absolutely brilliant. I mean, we had, over 30 models in 2 days getting their hair done, and absolutely it was astonishing on the work that we did. We had, gorgeous young girls coming here to get their hair done and to looking fabulous by our students. So it went really superb, didn't it, Connor?
It really did.
Yeah.
The feedback was amazing.
Yeah. So Connor was helping me, with the teaching. So he's one of our teachers here at the academy. So he was been helping me up here, getting everything ready, and yeah. So
Another question from Kenny. So, could this round graduation have been done with your clippers?
Technically, yes. Okay. Now, what would happen is, I would suggest if we're going to do a pure round shape, what I would have recommended, you could have done this with clipper over comb, and then by following the head shape more that way. Now, if you would have, now technically you could do round graduation with clippers with guards or attachment combs. But what would happen is, because of certain directions of growth pattern, it would look very, it wouldn't look as natural, you might say, as with scissor combing. Because with scissor combing, you'll be going with the direction and really tailor making it. So you could technically have done, because clipper work, when you're working from anywhere from here downwards, is graduation. And the shape, round, would be following the head shape. So technically you could. So hopefully that answers your question there, Kenny. So I'm going to continue. So now, what I normally would do, going through here, okay, working with, okay, now I'm still continuing with my graduation, so working with diagonal sections.
Tell Sid his good friend Ethan said he is truly fabulous and a master.
Oh, thank you very much, Ethan. Great to see you. Great to hear from you, buddy.
And that's 123 people tuning in.
Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. So just as a friendly reminder, so what we're doing is here, okay, as a bit of a recap, so I'm just doing a bit of round graduation at the moment. Okay, you'll see I'm going to be really refining that later on with scissor combing, but I'm just putting, I really want to create a very strong graduated effect here. So something more of like a very late 1988 to 1990 type of feeling, and really giving it very I wanted a combination of texture and softness and strength all at the same time. So I want something to be really I don't know, just something a bit more unique for my model here. So
we also have hi from Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. And asking what the Instagram is for the academy.
It's okay. My Instagram is Sid SID Sautung SOTTUNG Academy, and we are based in Edinburgh, Scotland. But I'm originally from New York. Just going over and just crisscross. Just going over that, seeing if there's any bit. Now just for everyone just joining us as well, I did use a cutting agent. So what that means is I used a leave-in conditioner, which is the Aveda Botanical Repair leave-in treatment, and I applied it through the hair before I started cutting. I normally use either a spray leave-in, there's different brands you can use, anything. So in this case, because the hair has been pre-lightened, I decided to use a bit more of a cream-based cutting agent or cutting tool. So the purpose of it is really just to, one, work the treatment throughout the hair while I'm cutting, but at the same time to help keep my sections nice and tight.
We have another message from Ethan. Always watching you, Sid. Still an inspiration, and I can't wait to pop up and see you guys.
Oh, amazing. We're looking forward to seeing you as well.
And another message. Tell Sid I'm watching from South Africa.
Oh, brilliant. Who's watching from South Africa?
That is Stephen Morris.
All right. Amazing. So we're getting a lot of different areas. South Africa, we got Atlanta, Georgia, we got Nottingham, we have, let's see, where else? We also have Jacksonville, Florida. So,
That's right.
Okay, so now what I'm now going to do is, okay, I'm going to start creating the shape on top. Now, what will happen is, so, let me just get the hair off.
Again, feel free to ask any questions.
Okay.
We're here to help.
Now, in this case here, so as I kind of want to create that, kind of shape here on the top. Now, what I'm going to be doing is, so I'm going to be using a vertical profile section down the middle. So let me just show you in a second. I need to, like I said, what we're trying to do is trying to create, okay, I'm working over my fingers. Now you'll see at the end I'm going to be doing something called scaffolding. It's a great little trick for unusual hairlines or growth patterns. Now what's going to happen here, so I'm now going to be kind of creating a bit more diagonal or pivoting type of sections here, because I still want to direct the hair a direct way. So going through here. Just clean. Like, the thing is with this, especially with the bleached hair, especially when we color it ourselves and the ends are just a bit, especially on the shorter length of hair. There we go. Up. Really just want to really get these ends off here. Like I said, you'll see I'm going to be doing a lot more cutting when the hair's dry. So right now I'm just kind of putting the basic shape in. And you'll see once I start doing my dry cutting, that's where my barbering side comes involved. But yeah, so going through here, up, you see, working over my fingers for layering. Cool. Okay, I'm going to continue on the opposite side, so I'm just going to turn around a little bit. Sorry you can see sick over here. Coming up. Yeah, I mean, and continue. And then you can cross-check this if you want. So I'm going to go back up. Going down the middle, down the apex area. Now, what's going to happen now is going to be just connecting from the back to the crown. This is that tiny bit here. All right, so let me dry this off now. And that's when I'm really going to be doing a lot more work with the hair cutting. So, let me blow the hair out first. So if there's any questions, guys, anything you guys need to know, please let us know. Is anyone still watching?
Yeah, I've got 109 viewers still.
Alright, perfect. So what I'm going to be doing is, I'm just actually putting in, it's actually a different product. It's the Botanical Repair Bond Styling Cream. And this is, I just want to have a bit more control. Like I said, this is been bleached hair or pre-lightened hair. So the ends could, sometimes feel a little bit spongy, but that's okay. I kind of like that, It's, I think it's going for the look that we're trying to create. I mean, the inspiration behind it is like a combination of a couple of different things, especially when, especially during my time at Sassoon, we had a couple collections. We had Raga, so a tiny bit of, strong, a little bit more of like late 80s, early 90s feeling. So still, like I said, creating that softness, texture, really also like we talked about, the lead singer of the Cranberries, so, which I remember seeing in concert in a very, very small venue in New York, and yeah, it was great. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually just going to be using this is a 7-row vest brush, so I'm just using that. I do want to control the hair, I just want to dry it and control, and then you start seeing me doing the refining work. So if there's any questions, please just let us know. So once again, so when I'm blow drying on the right side, the brush is in my right hand. If you want to blow dry back, you can. Cool. So like I said, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, but now normally I would, what I have to show you, especially here if I use my nozzle. Sorry. If I use my nozzle, now, thank you so much, Connor. So now, you can also, if you want to direct the hair, to really show that direction of that graduation, and this is like, especially for Kenny, when he asked that question, that's the thing is right here. See, that will give you that direction by using diagonal sections. Okay? So that's what I was trying to aim for.
So to link with that, what you just mentioned with Kenny's question with the over direction here, he just asked you another question, is the brush necessary?
Is the brush necessary?
Yes.
Okay, in all fairness, I mean, yeah, okay, well, what would happen is, I can sit here, okay, and just use and towel dry, and blast dry with my fingers, but the thing is, I still have to do more cutting. So by using this type of brush, I want to try and control the hair, because it's bleached hair, it wants to expand. So I want to control, then afterwards, after I'm done with the cutting, that's when I can make it go crazy. So right now, I want to have control, hence why the brush. So great question, Kenny. But the thing is, guys, this is some information I'm delivering tonight that works for me. And this is these are just suggestions. I mean, I can never tell a hairdresser what to do. I'm not perfect. But what's this? These are just things that throughout time have worked well for me. you know, and I'm hoping that they might work well for you. So these are just ideas, see what you think, you know. My main goal is not to like, oh yeah, you know, make it all about sit show. It's more about, you know, trying to help everyone, you know, by sharing knowledge. It helps everyone, you know, become better and better and more positive, and yeah, so it's a good thing.
Kenny said that was an excellent explanation.
Oh, thank you, Kenny.
And you've also had a hello from the Philippines.
All right, Philippines represent. Okay, so I'm going to now move around so you can see. It's going to show you. Look at that interesting hairline in the front. So with that, oh yeah, we're going to have some fun with that. Yeah. So.
Kenny just said, if I lived in Scotland, you'd definitely be the man I'd work with.
Oh, thank you, Kenny. Yeah. Kenny, like, see all these questions. I know Kenny already knows the answers. What he's doing is he's actually testing me to see if I do. or how I explain it.
Yeah.
So, I know Kenny is a very famous hairdresser in the States. And I know who Kenny is. And, like, honestly, he's definitely an icon. So right now, he's just testing me on purpose. He already knows the answers. So.
Good job, Kenny.
Oh, trust me, everyone, even my staff were messing with me today, so I'm quite used to it today.
Oh, I said you're awesome. Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it, man. Okay, so in a moment I'm going to have some fun. It is like actually really beautiful hair to cut because it's like, it's so thick and it's like kind of like, I love the diverse texture, meaning the growth patterns. I love wicked growth patterns. I find it so like, you know, it's not all about like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I love irregular things, you know, and to be able to kind of like play around with them and control them. Okay, so right there, what I'm doing is, I'm going to have a bit of fun in a little bit, especially with that. I will be showing you that part at the end of the video, because I want to kind of like, I'm going to focus a lot of my energy on doing like refining work. So then you'll see at the end, I'm going to show the scaffolding technique to really give a nice, cool finish to the hair, and also make it easier for my model to style it at home.
Sweet.
Now at this point here, so like I said, this is going to be, we're going to keep the sharpness here. I will be using my trimmers in a little bit. Now just making sure I will be going over a little bit of scissor combing, just to really refine the shape. I'm just going to get a trimmer here. Now what I'm using is, I'm using my Andis trimmers, and they're great. They're wireless charging, they're absolutely brilliant. And then what I'm doing now, just like a little bit touch around the ear.
Jacqueline Gruff says, love it.
Oh, perfect. Oh. Now what happens now, so I'm going to go up, pick up the hair, and I'm going to just refine that even more. Going up. And you can also just, if I want to chip into it, break into it there, you can. Now I'm going to go on this side here. Like I said, it's all about the refining. So I will be using scissor coming. So I did switch to my a little bit larger scissors for this application of this technique. So they're actually my wings, and these ones are the limited edition called Tiger ones, which was really based on the I believe the Chinese New Year. So correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so there we go. Okay, so going around. Okay, now you have a couple of different options. Okay, at this point here, I can use point cutting over comb. Or if you want, you can use your blending scissors. Now these ones go, you can have a dial that goes from 10, 20, or 30% of hair removed. So it depends what you're trying to achieve. So I tend to use these more for blonde hair, just to, not so much to thin out the hair, but really just trying to really just kind of smooth it out. Going up. Next one, I will be using my clippers, and I will be using my Canvas clippers.
Sorry about the disturbance there, guys. I had a bit of a problem with the gimbal, but I've detached the phone. It started spinning around a little bit there.
Is people still watching?
Yeah, 56 people tuned in.
Yeah, perfect. Right then, so I'm just going to continue. And I'm going to be doing clipper over comb. Like I said, I'm not going too aggressive. I'm working with the natural growth pattern.
So another question from Jacqueline again is asking where we're based.
We are based in Edinburgh, Scotland. So we have an international airport, 30 minutes away from the academy. Edinburgh is the capital city, so it's the capital city of Scotland, and it's brilliant. So we actually get a lot of students from America to come on over, and also Holland and all throughout the UK. So all courses booked in August. All courses, that if you book a course for the rest of the year, you only pay 50% if you pay and book in August. So definitely for more information, definitely. So that could be, you could do a course in September, but if you pay in August, you get it for 50% off. So it's our little, little gift to everyone for opening up our new academy.
And you can check that out on www.sidsotong.com. That's SIDSOTTUNG.com.
You can also see, we actually just, my video guy, Dan Lord from Forecast Designs, his production company, he was here for 2 days doing videos and photographs of our class in Academy in Action. So, yeah, so you can see that video on our Facebook page at Sid Saltone Academy. So, but hopefully, if I talk to Hairbrain, they might let me post it on here because it's a really exceptional video.
I have another question. So excellent work, sir. I wish I could do this haircut. Beautiful model also. Do you have any free tutorials?
Free tutorials? Yeah,
Yes.
I've been doing the story of my life. I've been doing a lot of free tutorials. Well, during lockdown, I did 173 free live video tutorials. And you see a lot of it on our Facebook page, and also this is my second free live video tutorial here on Hairbrain. So I'm a Hairbrain guest educator, and I've been doing almost every week for the last couple months now, I believe, or 2 months, no, 6 weeks. So you'll be able to see a lot of the free tutorials here. I mean, even on Hairbrain, there's so many free live video tutorials. They believe in creating lots of education and also, in developing the hairdressing industry. So, especially even with the barbering as well. I've been a member of Hairbrain community since when Hairbrain was kind of like, I used to call it the hairdresser's Facebook. It was more of that type of arrangement. Now it's such an amazing brand and platform for free education, and it really helps help create various barbers and hairdressers from around the world into becoming much more successful in their industries. So it's absolutely amazing what Hairbrain is about. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just fine tuning this, going back over. I mean, I could sit here for hours doing this, such beautiful, beautiful hair.
Another question from Elizabeth Porter. Where can we find the lockdown tutorials?
Okay, so those will be on the Facebook, my business page Facebook, which is Sid Sultan Academy. So we should have them definitely a few of them on there. So in the beginning of lockdown, I didn't realize you can record and keep them.
So you might have to do a little bit of digging, but they will be there.
So it's like, for us as a brand, in the last, it was about almost 15 years now, we've had the brand, and we've won Academy of the Year, I've won Men's Colorist of the Year for Color World, and also I won Wet Shaving Expert of the Year as well, and so we were forever pushing ourselves to do better and better. Now, why? It's not for my own ego, it's actually to help our students, all right? By pushing ourselves as educators, we're trying to show the students that if you continue with your love of the art of being a hairdresser or barber, you can push yourself and to do better and better, and you can then become successful and let your dreams come true. Because the thing is, for myself, my biggest success story are my students. My students are everything to me, to make sure that they can achieve their dreams. For what barbering and hairdressing has given me, it's priceless. It's just like, I wish my dad was still alive to see me, and I absolutely love this industry. It is an art form, and I love, and because we're artists, we work with our hands, our heart, and our mind, and it's just such an amazing craft to be in.
Elizabeth replied that with a thank you.
You're welcome, Nat. Like I said, we are here, if you have any questions about the equipment we use, about our courses, or booking any courses, please, just drop us a message. We are here, so we're here to help. So, like I said, realistically, I can spend hours on hours of doing. So I'm just using one through. Around.
Nice. Do we have any more questions?
Just let us know. way, going up the neck.
Kenny again, superb work, sir. Always a pleasure watching you. Stay awesome. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Chioni. Thank you very much, Kenny. I appreciate it. You know, I think it's, you know, like with anything, guys, you know, it's like to have that bit of support, you know, from your fellow peers, you know, because no one's perfect. I'm not the world's best hairdresser or barber or anything. I'm here just to try my best to hopefully maybe help others. You know, that's the key thing. So, all right. So I'm now going to be going into the texturizing. So, all right, let's have some fun. Okay. So I got a few more. I got like 8, 9 more minutes left. So let's see. So realistically, yeah, we can do point cutting. We could do freehand point cutting. I'm going to do freehand point cutting just because it's a bit more aggressive, and also, I mean, I'm on a bit of a time frame here. So yeah. There we go.
Awesome.
Okay, just going back in. So the way I'm doing that, you go in and you pull, and you cut and you pull out. Now what will happen here, sorry, just want to just kind of blend that down. So with this, I'm just doing complete feeling, looking the hair, looking to see the exaggerated effect to it. So, sorry, it's going to be like Christmas now with all the white clothes. She'll have a Santa Claus beard in a second. So. I could promote my beard oil that way. Alright, so. Okay, now at this point here, I'm going to work with slicing. So going open and close. Now, the reason why I'm doing it with the open and close technique here is, especially with the slicing, is because of the shape of the parietal ridge. It's just, you know, keeping that. I mean, it's a good amount of hair.
Oh, I'm glad I came up close. The detail of this looks brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so cool.
Sweet.
Okay, let me just try and do that a little bit more of like. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit deeper.
So just a few more minutes left now, guys. So if you have any more questions, please don't be shy.
Okay, you can pick this up. Now, because of the scaffolding technique that I used to do, let me just do this here first. Okay, so let's do the scaffolding technique here. So here, what I'm going to do is just around the front hairline area, what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this a little bit halfway, just around the front panel. I'm going around that hairline. I'm sorry about the hair on your face. Okay, so now what I'm doing is, because I want to try and, I'm cutting off some of that curl in the front. So, and you see right there, it's going to help control everything. Look at that. So
Awesome.
it's kind of like scaffolding, you kind of just, or like Viagra, just keeps it up there, helps keep it up. So, yeah. Really creating that type of, like, yeah, you see.
Beautiful
I
artwork,
do this
Jacqueline
side
said.
here, but you can see that's just going to help. But like I said, I got a lot of weight removing here.
Yeah. Jacqueline pointed out this is the beautiful artwork.
Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. I am trying my best here for the timing. So just being mindful about my guests, making sure that at all times your guest is safe and feeling comfortable with everything. So there's things like, as ourselves as barbers and hairdressers, even educators, we want to make sure that, our work of art, our living art, our models, our guests, they are, of course, comfortable as well. Okay, so now I'm just doing everything like keeping this, there we go. Now on the back here, so we're going to just turn around, so here. And going to be using some of my, just for the blonde bit. And that right here, yes. So you can see you have the 30, the 20, oh no, that's 20, and that's the 10%. So you can change it depending on your guest, and the type of density of hair. So great for barbering, great for ladies hairdressing. The choice is yours, gender neutral, familiar haircutting, I'm using these primarily because of the blonde color and how it wants to expand. And I'm just doing this just to break into the specific color itself. And it's got this little bit of I'm just going to go in the back here, and that's it. First, I'm just going to use a bit of the Botanical Repair styling cream, just to help, like I said, that extra treatment throughout the hair. Then I'm going to be using the defining width. Oh, here we go.
Yaralina said thank you.
What's that?
Yaralina, she said thank you.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome. Kathy said beautiful cut. I love it.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Kathy.
Another comment saying beautiful art. I'm gonna get nice and close to show you the graduation here. Oops. Nice. Look at that. Spectacular. But this is an amazing haircut.
Right.
Look at that texture here, get nice and close.
Just a very light spray. I just want to give a tiny bit. I'm trying to get the dirtiness back into the hair because we washed it and treated it. I just want to get a little bit of cool. Okay, so let me just recap, and then we're going to be calling it a night or a day wherever you are. So what I did first was, really just focusing on, working with graduation. So working with diagonal sections, going this way, working inside my fingers. But as you can see, I kind of dropped out that area there because I want to really kind of keep a bit more strength here. So in a way, when we look, it's really giving a bit more like stronger with the cheekbone area. Then transforming into round graduation in the back, so it's a bit more of a head hugging shape. Then working with a wee bit of scissor overcoming, little clip overcomb, you can use guards, do whatever you want, it's okay. Then on the top, okay, so I first worked with profile section, then I worked with pivoting sections. Then, of course, dried it off, and then really went to town with a lot of texturizing, really trying to, create lots of cool texture. Then at the end, just doing a little bit of scaffolding technique, which is taking the front panel a little bit shorter to help support the top. And then just be applying, you can apply a cream, a paste, whatever you like. Something just to give more like a playful look, something that's like a little more, I want to expand the hair, give it a little more height, and to really kind of just give a nice more, like I said, it was more like a very late 80s, early 90s feeling to the hair. So I hope you guys like it. So Connor, if there's any last minute questions?
Just a last minute compliment, beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Was that from you, Connor?
Yes. No, this was from Sylvia and from Connor.
Oh, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you for your questions today.
So once again, and thank you, Connor, for all your help tonight, and thank you, of course, to the gorgeous model here. And thank you so much, everyone, wherever you are in the world. And thank you for allowing me to share with you, my strength, my hope, and my experience with all of you. And I hope, once again, we'll see each other again, either at our academy, brand new academy here in Edinburgh, Scotland, or one of our seminars or classes, or hair brain education. All right, everyone, thank you very much.